afternoon and welcome to the Rotary Club of Fort Worth. Today is Friday, March 8th. What a beautiful day it is outside. Looks like the rain has passed through, leaving us some sunny skies. Look at all these smiling faces here in this little room. All right, first up, we have our invocation with Nathan Schneidenvent, CEO Farlow Media, followed by Harriet Harrell, Principal of the Harrell Group, playing the national anthem. Please rise with me.
Thank you, President Driver. I'm Episcopalian, so we read everything. So I don't want to mess anything up. Please bow your heads. Oh God, you made us in your own image and redeemed us through Jesus, your Son. Look with compassion on the whole human family. Take away the arrogance and hatred which infects our hearts. Break down the walls that separate us. Unite us in bonds of love and work through our struggle and confusion to accomplish your purposes on earth, that in your good time, all nations and races may serve you in harmony around your heavenly throne, through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
So proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, who thrust Christ and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare along thirsty air. We proved through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Harriet. Thank you, Nathan. Y'all may be seated. All right, Howard Altschuler, partner, Weaver, for the visitor welcome. Come on up, Howard. Weaver what? Weaver what? Partner of Weaver? Weaver what? Just Weaver?
Yeah, it's officially Weaver and Tidwell, but we brand with Weaver.
Go ahead.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to announce our guests. Okay, so I would ask everyone to hold their applause, but I know they won't, so let's just clap for everybody. Our first guest is Nick Dumbald, guest of Ed McClin. Next is Laura Western, guest of Greg Carter. Next is Evan Konecki, guest of Joe Brown. Okay. Susan Little and John Bowers, both guests of Kathy Neese Brown. Okay. And finally, Chris Harris, guest of Corey Harris. Sorry, Corey.
Thank you, Howard. All right, next up for our guests here, this is something we as Rotarians do every week. Those who have been here before know the drill. As Rotarians, we have some standards that we try to hold ourselves to. And we have this thing called the four-way test, and we use it as a filter for everything we think, say, or do. If it doesn't meet the test, well, we try not to think, say, or do those things. If you will, please repeat along with me. Number one, is it the truth? Number two, is it fair to all concerned? Number three, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Number four, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Now, before we set that aside for a minute, I do have an announcement to make. For those of you who've been watching the news, there's a lot of fire way out west. in our great state. And as a matter of fact, it's one of the largest fires ever recorded in the United States of America. It is definitely the largest in our state. Governor's declared a disaster declaration. As Rotarians, though, we are compelled to stand up and help out whenever we get a chance, this whole service above self thing that we do. So up here is a QR code, and if you'll see on the top left, there's the latest stats on the fires. I'm not going to get into the details, but we have a lot of people that are hurting and in need of help. Everything from T-posts and barbed wire to food and stuff to fight the fire, shelter, et cetera, et cetera. Now, our own disaster relief team that our district, our Rotary district has taken up the call, and they sent us this information. That QR code is what Rotary is using to send any disaster relief to. So if you feel so compelled, break out your phone, take a picture of that QR code with the dinosaur in the middle. I don't know why that's there, but nonetheless, take a picture of that QR code, or actually don't take a picture. For those of you technology impaired, hold it up until the little yellow bar below appears. Tap that and it'll take you to the website where you can donate directly to the organization that is providing funding for the emergency needs of the people up there. So thank you for that. Now, on to our four-way test. Or excuse me, we already did the four-way test. Now on to our newscast. And I'd like to introduce someone y'all all know and love. Please don't groan too loud. Mr. Mitch Reitman, Principal Reitman Consulting Group.
Thank you so much for that warm welcome. I feel as welcome as Ken Paxton at a Dave Phelan victory party. Facebook was down for almost 4 hours Tuesday. Across the country, Trump and Biden supporters had to open their windows and just hurl insults at each other directly. Today is International Women's Day, and I would just like to quote Margaret Thatcher. If you want something said, ask a man. If you want something done, ask a woman. Last night I was watching a hockey game and the State of the Union broke out. President Biden announced he's going to give weapons to the Ukraine. He said it's going to be in exchange for President Zelensky's approval rating. Last week, many celebrated the Chinese New Year, Year of the Dragon. Not much seems to have changed. I'm still writing Year of the Rabbit on my checks. On April 8th, a solar eclipse will be visible here in Fort Worth. School districts across Texas want to educate children on how to safely view the eclipse. However, several parent groups protested that looking directly into the eclipse could cause blindness, and the students should be instructed not to look at the eclipse until they are married. Intelligence officials say that the Russians may have damaging information on Donald Trump. For example, they may have video of everything he's ever said on TV. Sources close to President Biden have announced that he will begin preparation for the presidential debates. They advise him not to interrupt Donald Trump and just say, go ahead, keep talking. In Canada, a motorcycle gang has been attacking businesses that they don't like by giving them bad reviews. They're calling them Yelp's Angels. Legal Land's official legal master announced this week that he completed a scale model of the Starship Enterprise. The model took 8 months of 10-hour days to build, and even though it took him over 800,000 bricks to build, he said that he still has enough bricks left over to build a girlfriend. And in sports news, the world champion Texas Rangers announced that Governor Abbott will be at the opener to throw out the First Amendment. And finally, Dak Prescott became a father this week. They asked him if caring for a baby was like dealing with his NFL teammates. He said no. After a while, the baby quits crying. This weekend's weather calls for possible severe thunderstorms and tornadoes. Remember, there's a tornado warning. Go to the Cowboys practice facility. There's a little chance of a touchdown there.
Ouch. Wow. Thank you, Mitch. That was actually, I got to say, thumbs up. Very good. And everyone seemed pretty happy with that. Okay. We got 5 announcements today. The first one, Kelly Louder, Senior Advisor, Engage. Is it F1? FI. FI. All right. Come on up.
All right, good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. As most of you know, we are continuing our campaign to drive funds to the Rotary International Annual Fund. We've got the club that's now contributing to the fund, doubling our donations through the end of March. So we have 3 weeks left in the campaign. So I just want to encourage anyone that's thought about it. This is really kind of the last opportunity to get those funds matched. It's for anyone that will donate between $250 and $500. The club will match. We're going to show you some instructions on how to go through that process. And I know we talk about the eradication of polio as a big part of what that fund goes to, but they do humanitarian crises, clean water efforts, they fight all kinds of diseases, natural disaster relief. So they do a lot of great work around the world that's really important. And so we're really trying to get more funds from our club donated, and we're trying to get more Paul Harris Fellows as part of our club as well. So how do you do it? You're going to go to myrotary.org. Make sure you log in so you actually get credit for what you donate. There's a donate button in the top right-hand corner. Once you click on that, it should actually default to say the annual fund. But if it doesn't, click on annual fund. You can then choose your amount to donate. Once you've taken that step, if you can email Ryan Jodish, who's over there, he's the head of our committee. Ryan's email is right there on that screen. And if you'll let him know what you donated, he'll be notified to reach out to the club to match your donations. So once again, we have about 3 weeks left for the campaign. So we're not asking you guys to give up what you're doing locally and contributing to our club, but we're just asking you to go above and beyond. If you don't know what you've donated in the past to the annual fund, Ryan will have an updated spreadsheet showing everybody's donation amounts. A lot of people in this room have donated in the past. So it's a great chance for you to just up that a little bit and reach that Paul Harris level. And remember, 46% of what we donate comes back to the community within 3 years. So if there are any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can reach out to Ryan, President-elect Kathy Sheffield, past President Rachel Marker. All of us will be glad to help you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. All right, next up would have been Chris Jordan, but he put our page up there with the donors, please, Tom. We had an announcement about the Minority Business Awards. The announcement is very simple. It is fully funded. We would like to thank each and every one of these sponsors that you see on the screen right now, so please give them an applause too. All right. Now, next up, Jan Titsworth, President, DeCalibron Consulting. Where you at, Jan? Are you here? Oh, there she comes. All right, you have an announcement for us. That's kind of a maze. Just.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here on behalf of the International Committee to thank all of those who've donated so far to refugee services and Catholic Charities needs for food and hygiene kits. We are so appreciative of your support thus far. And you'll see there's another QR code with a dinosaur in the middle of it. And if you are able to continue to support the refugees who are resettling to our area with a food kit or hygiene kit or multiple, we we would be so grateful because there's an MVP award that's going to be given out on March 22nd. So that's only 2 Fridays from now. So the QR code or the link in the rotograph would be a great way to show your support in that regard. And also, Catholic Charities and World Relief organizations say their greatest needs are dental care, cataract surgery, and optical services. And so if you know of any providers who would have it in their heart to be able to offer those types of services to refugees being relocated through Catholic Charities and World Relief Services, please reach out to Akua, who's the chair of the International Committee, or just send an email to the Rotary office, and we will be sure to get everyone connected. Thank you again for your support, and I look forward to seeing who's the MVP on March 22nd.
Thank you, Jen. Next up, past President Courtney Lewis, Senior VP of Cadence Bank. Come on up.
Hi, so I'm here to make an announcement, a little bit shorter than Kirk here. The club's board has convened a committee to develop a comprehensive strategic 3-year plan for the years 2025 to 2027. The committee's mission is to chart a course for our club that both honors our rich legacy and propels us forward in an ever-changing world. Our work will focus on adapting to the changing dynamics of our community and business landscape to remain relevant and impactful. Also, number 2, optimizing resources to maximize our contributions to both our members and the community. 3, we seek to ensure long-term sustainability by building on a resilient framework that supports our club's growth, engagement, and financial health for years to come. And then finally, strengthening community engagement by deepening our connections with the community, enhancing our service projects to expand our reach and impact. So there should be a QR code on the screen here. So we want you to join us in this endeavor. And so this is a call to action for all of our members to engage, contribute, and help steer the Rotary Club of Fort Worth toward a future filled with even greater achievement, service, and community impact. If you'll scan this QR code, there's a short survey there for all of our members just to help drive our work as we formulate this strategic committee. Leading this committee is Chair Pam Cannell. Also is on the committee, President-elect Rebecca Montgomery, President nominee Kathy Sheffield, past President Fernando Costa, not Carlo, you didn't get picked, just me. Sorry, Carlo. Past VP Wesley Gentle, Melissa Harris, Richard Knight, past treasurer Derek Moffitt, our illustrious club director, wherever she is, Aurora Newberry, treasurer-elect Ann Sheets, past treasurer Tran Trong, Estrus Tucker, and also myself. So we hope all of you will join us and help make our club stronger.
Thank you, past President Courtney. As she said, that QR code is to a survey. Please take a moment to complete that survey because we need our membership to tell us where y'all want to go with our club in the future. What are the important things to you? So anyway, there you have it. Next up, James Emmons, partner at Seton Hill Partners. Where you at, James?
Thank you kindly, sir. I'm just here to announce and remind everybody that's our upcoming 2024 Rotary Crazy Pants Open Golf Tournament. This year to be on May 14th at the same location, Ridgely Country Club South Course. So we, on our committee, we have a great group, and it's going to be expanding as we go along. But Mr. David Campbell, Courtney Lewis, Jason Ellis, and Blair. Don't see Blair here today, but anyway, there he is. Yeah. What's that? I'd like for Carlo to add a team to our group this year. Carlo, we need a new team and a sponsor. I've got your number, though. I've got your number. Anyway, we had a grand time last year. We had 84 players with 21 teams. And we had a total of 12 sponsors. We raised net approximately $10,000 going for the benefit of your Rotary Club here in Fort Worth. So, which was double the year before. So I have a goal to continue that tradition that we've established. More importantly, it was a fun event. Everybody I talked to and could tell had a great time. And that's the goal. Fellowship in amongst ourselves, but also our community, because we want to have many, many community people on teams, as well as our sponsors. So we will be reaching out to you for that. Reach out to any one of those persons I named to you. Aurora also can help you sign up. And Carlo, be sure to call Carlo first. And we have a flyer that's, see there? Y'all don't know this yet. We'll save this for later, but Carlo is the chairman-elect for the golf committee next year. Courtney, grab that. That was credit cards and cash, so we're on a good start. So all of you, write down May 14 on your calendar and be sure to sign up, and because we're going to have another great time. Thank you, President Driver.
Thank you, James. All right. Let's see, we have a new member introduction. I think that's next. Let's see. Strategic planning, crazy pants, new member introduction. Ed, where you at? Bring up your new member, Ed McGlynn, insurance consultant, Champion Commercial Insurance. Tell us about our new member.
Sorry, I forgot to bring my phone book to stand on. Thank you, President Kirk. Fellow Rotarians, fasten your seatbelts. I'm proud to introduce the newest member of the Rotary Club of Fort Worth, Mr. Chip Schweiger. The 4 or 5 of you that have gotten to know me over the past 3 years since I've been a member know that I like to tell stories. So I'm going to tell you about my first encounter with Chip. I first met him about a year or so ago at a lunch meeting of the Stockyards Business Association. Similar to Rotary, people mix and mingle before and after the meeting. And when I showed up, I observed this gentleman. He was dressed in a Western tailored pinstripe suit, cowboy hat, boots, which is pretty typical here in Fort Worth. And to top that off, a carnation in his lapel and a cowboy mustache, which he just got rid of recently. And anyway, so I was curious, thinking this guy might have been an actor in 1883, which was being filmed in the Stockyards at the time. And I thought maybe that's part of the program today. And he was going to talk about the show and all the celebrities in town and all that. As it turns out, he's a CPA who offices in the Stockyards Exchange Building. But he is a true cowboy that rides his horse daily, and he writes a blog on the Old West and cowboy culture, which is very interesting. Chip and his wife Rhonda live on the ranch outside of Decatur, have 2 kids, Devin and Kristen, grandsons Miller and Archie, and, of course, a horse named Whiskey. Anyhow, Chip years ago was a Rotary member in that town about 35 miles east of here that we allow to share our airport. And he's met many of you all, and everyone should be excited for him to be part of our club. Chip, the podium is yours.
Thank you, Ed. I've worn a mustache for on and off for 30 years. The last incantation was about 18 months old, and knowing that Ed was going to try to talk about it, I gave it a summer break on Sunday, so it'll be back, but sorry about that. You know, I'm reminded of Groucho Marx, his comment that he's not sure if he'd want to be a member of a club that would have him as a member. But here we are. No, seriously, I'm not sure if I'm in the right place. I was looking for a convention of tops. Is that nearby somewhere out there? Seriously, though, from the moment I walked into the Fort Worth Rotary Club, the welcoming from all of you has been tremendous. I knew I was in the right place. I really am looking forward to being an active member of this club and getting to know more and more of you, because we share common goals, right? We share a life that's richly lived is one where we serve others. So, so thankful to you, Ed, for introducing me to the club, and thankful to all of you for having me as a member of this club. I'll do my best. I forgot I was supposed to say something that you didn't know about me. When I was young and idealistic, I was involved in politics, and I worked for George H.W. Bush 41 in his vice presidential office on the Senate Hill, and also in the campaign, and then worked in vice presidential advance, and it was a great job, low pay, high stress, long hours, but I did get to bring with me one experience, two experiences actually, that I'll carry with me for the rest of my life, and that was that I was the guy who would say to the crowd, "Ladies and gentlemen, the Vice President of the United States."
Good. Thank you, gentlemen, and we hope to see that red badge turn to blue pretty soon. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate that. All right, now for the main event. I'd like to introduce our chairperson of the day, past president Gary Cumby, owner, Cumby Consultancy and Hawaiian Shirt Sales. No. Come on up and tell us all about it.
This is my Texas Wesleyan. Boy, he's tall. My Texas Wesleyan Hawaiian shirt. I'm proud to wear it today in honor of our speaker. By the way, Chip, welcome to the club. You may be the exception to the rule about a CPA being somebody who's great at math but doesn't have enough personality to be an engineer. I think. So we're, all right. Our speaker today is Dr. Emily Messer, president of Texas Wesleyan University, a position she has held now for 8 months. She was selected from a group of more than 100 applicants, including some who are already presidents of their own schools from across the country. Dr. Messer came to this role with great background and credentials. She got her bachelor and master's degrees at Jacksonville State University in Alabama, where she was a first-generation college student, just like many at Texas Wesleyan. She got her doctorate in higher education administration at the University of Alabama. Career-wise, she was at Shorter University in Rome, Georgia, where she began as director of student life and became assistant dean of students and then vice president of enrollment management. She moved on back to her alma mater, Jacksonville State, as vice president for enrollment management, and did such a great job with their enrollment program. And they were so impressed with her that when the vice presidency for advancement, which includes fundraising, became available, they said, well, why don't you just do both jobs? And so she was a dual vice president for a while and set records in both enrollment and fundraising. And the rumor is that they were about to make her CFO and athletic director as well. And that's why she began to look for a place where, as long as she was going to do everything, she might as well be president. Well, we are happy that she's here. Everywhere she's gone, she's been involved in the community. She has been a Rotarian in both Georgia and Alabama. And we're going to do everything we can to add Texas to that list as soon as we can get her Friday schedules rearranged. She's got way too many Friday meetings scheduled. Dr. Messer and her husband, Chris, have 2 daughters, Madeline and Camille. A side note, the Wesleyan Search Committee, which consisted of trustees and faculty and students and staff, one faculty member during their deliberations said, Dr. Messer would be a great selection for Texas Wesleyan, but the board would never approve a woman. will surprise. Dr. Messer was the unanimous choice of the Board of Trustees. You will note, as she comes up, if you have not already met her, that she is petite. But that fits right in at Texas Wesleyan, because at Texas Wesleyan, we're smaller and smarter. So I'd like to ask our smaller, smarter 21st president of Texas Wesleyan and first woman president, Emily Messer, Dr. Emily Messer.
So yes, Texas Wesleyan and Emily Messer, smaller, smarter, right? Thank you so much, Gary. What a wonderful introduction. And I do have to say thank you to the entire Rotary Club for having me today, but thank you to Gary for organizing and scheduling this. I actually had this scheduled before I actually arrived in Fort Worth, so I've been looking forward to this for many, many months. So. While it has been just a short 7 months that I have been located here in Fort Worth, it feels like many, many years on multiple occasions, but mostly because of the warm welcome and the kindness that everyone at Texas Wesleyan and in the Fort Worth community have provided me. So it's been a wonderful experience thus far. And I have been told I need to stand really close to the microphone. So before I begin our update on everything wonderful that's going on at Texas Wesleyan, I want to introduce a couple of people. We have some Board of Trustee members in the room, Mr. Gary Cumby being one of them, and Mr. Larry Anfin. If Gary and Larry will both stand, thank you for all you do. We also have a former longtime board member, Senator Beverly Powell, who has taken a hiatus from the board and is working for Texas Wesleyan currently. Yes. Senator Powell is currently serving as Special Assistant for External Affairs to assist me with my transition to the presidency at Texas Wesleyan and in Fort Worth. So we're very pleased with that. We have many Texas Wesleyan faculty, staff, representatives in the room. If you will all please stand as well. Thank you to each of you for being here today. I also want to say we are pleased to support the Minority Business Awards. Samir, Dr. Vadia, and I have been working with Chris Jordan, so we are very pleased to participate in that. With Texas Wesleyan being such a diverse campus, we are proud to be supporters of that program. So moving right along, as I mentioned, I'm very delighted to be here today to tell you about all the wonderful things going on at Texas Wesleyan. I will move through these slides as quickly as possible, and then I hope that I have the opportunity to answer some of your questions towards the end. As I mentioned, I have been greeted with such hospitality during my welcome to Fort Worth. Here are some of the photos, and I want to say a huge thank you to Fort Worth Star-Telegram and Fort Worth Report for their coverage of my acceptance of the presidency at Texas Wesleyan. We were honored on behalf of the university and me coming into this new position to be to have the publicity around this new position. Oh goodness, I didn't, oh, okay. Very sensitive. Also, at the very bottom of the screen, you see Councilman Chris Nettles, also Board of Trustees member, and Councilwoman Jeanette Martinez. They are our city council representatives for our district in East Fort Worth. So I want to say thank you to them publicly. They are always eager to assist Texas Wesleyan and participate in all of our events. And I also have to give a shout out to Michael Crane, who is here wearing a medal. Where are you? Stand up, Michael. So this past weekend, we had the Wesleyan 5K, and Michael ran in it and got third place. He had to leave before we did the awards ceremony, so I wanted to be sure I got his medal to him today. So thank you for your participation. I do think there were only 3 people in his age division. I have to mess with him because I also got third place, and I think there were 3 people in my age division. So And since we are picking on Carlo, I have to say, yesterday, I officially became a Texan. I got my driver's license, and so Carlo and I hung out together at the Department of Public Safety. I was there for about an hour and a half, but I'm officially a Texan now. So also on the screen, you see the opportunity of a lifetime for me. I had the opportunity to ride in Grand Entry at the rodeo a few weeks ago, and what a wonderful experience. You know, when I was asked to do that, I had never even sat on a horse. So I was terrified, completely terrified, but a wonderful experience. And I have to say thank you to Senator Powell for assisting with that. I didn't have Western wear, no boots, no hat, but I'm officially a Fort Worthian now. So. Moving quickly. So I want to give you just an update. We currently have the Engage 2025 strategic plan at Texas Wesleyan. And with that, we engage in the community, leadership, and learning. I want to highlight that photo that there's right there. This past fall semester, Texas Wesleyan was pleased to enroll the largest new student class in Texas Wesleyan's 133-year history. And that is a photo of the new students that enrolled at Texas Wesleyan this past year. Not only did we see record new student class, we saw an increase in retention from last year to this year. So we've got great things going on at the university. So just some infographics on everything Texas Wesleyan. I want to point out that we are a very diverse campus. We have the federal designation of being a Hispanic serving institution. We are currently about 59% students of color, and just 2,600 students, just over 2,600 students. But one thing you can see right there is the 100%, and I think that is so important because 100% of our students receive some type of scholarship or grant. We have a very low income student population. You can see that almost half of our students are first generation college students. They're the first in their family to be able to attend college. And so we think it's very important that we support those students, not only in the classroom and outside the classroom for academic success, but also financially. So if you have ever given back to Texas Wesleyan University, I appreciate you and all you do. That is going to our students, 100% of our students. A little bit about our student demographics. So you can see there, our top Fort Worth ISD high school enrollment for this new student class in fall 23. Our top high school is Northside High School. You can see O.D. White, Arlington Heights, Pascal, and down the row. We had 70% of our students from Tarrant County alone. So Texas Wesleyan University is serving the students of this county, this region, and then we're educating them. So they're going back into the workforce. I think that is the key factor that provides the uniqueness of what Texas Wesleyan is doing. One of the appealing factors for me when I was interested in this position. A few other demographics of our new student class, as I mentioned, 72% are from Tarrant County, 98% are from Texas, with 9 different states represented outside of that. And as I mentioned earlier, 67% of our students in our new student class this year are Pell eligible. That means they come from low socioeconomic status families. So that 100% of scholarships and grants that we provide is extremely important. We're proud to say that our average high school GPA is a 3.47. So we have some outstanding academically prepared students coming to the university. A little more about enrollment. This past spring semester, we had 2,379 students. That was our largest spring enrollment since 2015. So we were pleased with that. Great fall enrollment, great spring enrollment. But as we look ahead to this upcoming fall, the recruiting cycle that we're looking at, we are actually 28% ahead on freshman applications as we're looking into the fall. So wonderful things going on at Texas Wesleyan. A lot of students interested in enrolling at our smaller, smarter university. Economic impact. So yes, we're smaller, smarter, small university on the east side of Fort Worth, but we have a total economic impact of $148 million. That is $78 million in direct spending and $70 million in induced spending. And so these calculations are provided for us by the Independent Colleges and Universities of Texas. We call ICUT, an outstanding organization that supports independent colleges and universities across the state. Moving quickly, I've got a lot of great things to share. A little bit about some of our academic programs. Many of you know Dr. Samir Vadya, who is our Dean of the School of Business Administration and a Rotarian. Yes, round of applause. He would be happy to tell you all about the School of Business Administration, but one unique program we have is our MBA program. It is 100% online, and it is an accelerated program. So we have 6 entry points, 6 different sessions that students can enter in, so that we have different offerings for students to enter as opposed to just the traditional fall and spring semesters. With that, you can finish the MBA program in as little as 12 months, an accelerated program and affordable. On top of that, it's an accredited program. So Dr. Vadya and his team recently were reaccredited by AACSB. That is an accrediting body for business schools across the nation that recognizes the top 10%, 5%? I said 10, but it is 5% of business colleges across the country. So we're proud for him and his team to have that accreditation, and recently, just in the past few months, be reaccredited for that as well. Okay, how many of you have heard of our nurse anesthesia program? Many of you, good. Okay, if you haven't, I've been told that's the best kept secret. Well, we don't want it to be a secret. We want everyone to know. So we have the largest nurse anesthesia program in the country at Texas Wesleyan University. It is a program that has been here in Fort Worth since the 1980s. We enroll between 105 and 110 students each fall semester. It is a 3-year program. So the first year they come to our campus, they are in classes, in clinicals, in our simulation labs, and year 2 and 3, they go back and do clinicals all across the country. So we have students that come here from California, then they may do clinicals in North Dakota. We are saturating the entire country with our nurse anesthesia program. Wonderful program. If you would like to learn more about it or just come visit us, we host a symposium every November where all 300-ish students come back from all across the country where they're doing their clinicals, and they take part in the symposium. We actually participate in the UNT Health Science Center with their cadaver lab. Wonderful program. I encourage you to come visit us if you have the opportunity. So athletics, did you know that we have 20 intercollegiate sports at Texas Wesleyan? And I'm very proud to announce this top one right here. Table tennis. No, it's not ping pong, right? It's table tennis. So this past weekend, we hosted the National Collegiate Table Tennis Association South Regional here in East Fort Worth. You can see all the participants: University of South Florida, University of Alabama, Roll Tide, University of Central Florida, North Texas Emory, University of Florida, Rice University. They were all on our campus, and we won the co-ed and women's team championships with our table tennis. It's a very unique program. If you haven't had an opportunity to see it, I would encourage you to come participate in that or be a spectator of that. So we also have wrestling. We have a national championship wrestler. You can see Dominique Chavez there. We have women's wrestling and have done very well in that as well. So other programs, we have track and field. We won the indoor nationals for NAIA. Beach volleyball was a new program we just started this past year and had our inaugural match just this past weekend where we beat Ottawa University. Baseball, if you've been a fan of Texas Wesleyan and baseball in the past, Coach Garza recently recorded his 200th career win. And then golf, both men's and women's are ranked in the top 10 for NAIA this year. Development and advancement. As I mentioned earlier, Senator Beverly Powell is serving as Special Assistant for External Affairs and doing lots with our current comprehensive campaign. We also have several development officers here with us today. So the Engage, Inspire, and Invest comprehensive campaign, you can see the components of that campaign. Well, you can't because I didn't. There we go. It is a $40 million campaign focusing on athletic excellence, endowments, facility enhancements, and programmatic opportunities. Of the $40 million, we have exceeded $32 million. So we are almost at the goal of our $40 million campaign. Two areas that we are still focusing on are athletic excellence, and that being our athletic stadium that we are building, and our endowments, which are always important. Our endowments often are our scholarships for our students. So we want to put a focus on that. As we move into finishing out this campaign, the athletic stadium is one of our top fundraising areas. And so a little bit about the athletic stadium. It's the Karen Kramer Athletic Stadium. We currently have the first phases of that. Phase 1 and Phase 2 are the field and the track. So if you were to go visit our campus, we would love for you to do that. The field and the track are there. We already have our athletic teams out there practicing on it. We've actually already held some track meets. The third phase of that will be the field house, the Moritz Field House, and then the fourth and final phase will be the grandstands, the press box, etc. So I do want to show you a short video about our athletic stadium. I don't think the sound's working, but I could sing a song while it's playing. We are so excited about the Karen Kramer Stadium, not only because it will supply a field for our football programs, soccer, and track, but what it will do for our community. We see this as a continued effort of economic development in East Fort Worth. The Rosedale Renaissance has taken place, and this is just going to be added to that. We are looking at partnerships with Fort Worth ISD so that they can play some of their games there. We have some club soccer teams interested in utilizing that field. And we see once we complete this field, bringing people to East Fort Worth, possibilities of more restaurants coming to that area. There are endless possibilities with what the athletic stadium can bring to not only Texas Wesleyan, but our community as well. So we do have some renderings of the stadium here in the corner, if you'd like to see those before you leave. Here's a rendering of the Moritz Field House. We are just months away from starting the Field House project. So we've cleared the land and looking forward to starting construction on that very soon. In addition to the athletic stadium, some other components of our current comprehensive campaign, many of you may have been to our campus to see a concert or a musical performance. Martin Hall, we made improvements to the audio-visual equipment there. In addition to academic achievements with the science labs. So this upcoming summer, we'll be renovating our science labs. Thank you to those of you around the room. I see many of you who have contributed to the campaign, whether it's you personally or your business. We greatly appreciate that. Some other exciting news. My second day here in Fort Worth, August 2nd, I had the opportunity to meet with the Texas Rangers Foundation in the city of Fort Worth, where we discussed the possibility of those three entities building a Texas Rangers Youth Academy. You may know that there is a youth academy located in Dallas, and they're wanting to share the love with Fort Worth. So they are looking at a partnership to where we would build a Texas Rangers Youth Academy. The current site we're looking at would be Eastover Park in the Stop 6 area. We're looking at about a $10 million project. It does say on the screen, work will begin in August 2024. That is actually when discussions will begin. What happened on August 2nd when I met with them is they had recently found out they were going to be hosting the All-Star game this summer. Little did they know they would win the World Series too. But because of the All-Star game, they asked that we pause the project slightly and we'll reconvene discussions on that in August once the All-Star game is over. But we're excited about this opportunity. We have met with City Councilwoman Gina Bibbins of that area. She's excited about what we'll do. There's actually the park that is there, and there's a Boys and Girls Club right across the street. So we're looking forward to the opportunity to partner with the Texas Rangers Foundation on this. Other aspects of Texas Wesleyan that you may or may not be familiar with are the Leadership Academy Network opportunities. So we currently work in 6 schools with Fort Worth ISD on a partnership to where the Leadership Academy Network, which we call LAN, goes into those schools and essentially takes over the schools. And so we have had this partnership for a few years now. Since LAN has been working in these 6 schools that you can see on the screen, those test scores of those schools have gone from F to A's or B's. So it's an outstanding program. Yes. Definitely a round of applause to that, because what they're doing is outstanding. And I had the opportunity to present at City Council a couple of weeks ago, and the mayor even encouraged that we might want to look at additional opportunities to partner with other schools in Fort Worth ISD. So we're looking forward to seeing where that will go. Upward Bound, you may have heard of Upward Bound program. Those are federal TRIO programs. We at Texas Wesleyan are proud to have the largest Upward Bound program in North Texas. We currently have 4 grants. We have 2 Upward Bound and 2 Upward Bound Math and Science. We have the most high school students that we work with in these programs than any other program in North Texas. You can see some outstanding statistics there. 100% of those participants continue to the next grade level. 70% of those participants continue to post-secondary education. It is a wonderful program that we are proud to work with at our university. Community outreach, just some information of upcoming events at the university to celebrate Texas, to celebrate Women's History Month. We are hosting the Goose Tree Symposium, where you can see Denise Hill will be there, and she's a representative from NASA in the Heliophysics Division. So she'll be on campus in just a couple of weeks. If you'd like to participate in that, we would love to have you. Other events that Texas Wesleyan is pleased to participate in or sponsor: the Fort Worth Business Hall of Fame. Many of you have participated in that in the past. That is an outstanding event that raises money for scholarship for Texas Wesleyan students. Where's Tom Law? He's disappeared, but he's here somewhere. He is very active in that Business Hall of Fame event because of the scholarship. And so we appreciate that. Main Street Fort Worth, you may have heard of that. That is a project where we will be, Texas Wesleyan and Southeast Fort Worth Inc. have partnered to make improvements to Vaughn Street, so continuing to revitalize that area. I mentioned the Texas Rangers Foundation. Wesleyan Wine Walk, who doesn't want to participate in the Wesleyan Wine Walk? So that is going to be part of our alumni weekend, which will be held April 19th and 20th, and that will actually also kick off the inauguration week activities. So if you haven't heard of those events, please look into that. We would love for you to come out and participate in the alumni event and the Wesleyan Wine Walk. You know, many people ask, what can we do for Texas Wesleyan? Get involved, stay connected, be engaged with what we have going on, whether it's participating in what we're doing for the athletic stadium, for fundraising. We have the Rosedale retail space. So many of you have seen the retail properties on Rosedale where there's Joe's Pizza, there's a Subway. We do have 2 vacant opportunities there. We have a 2,000 square foot and a 4,000 square foot space. If you'd like to open a restaurant or whatever you might want to do, reach out to us, and we have those opportunities for you. Increased campus involvement, but primarily social media. You know, join us, follow us, click on our pages, whatever you want to do. Stay involved with Texas Wesleyan through social media. And lastly, the schedule for the inauguration week activities. It's going to be an outstanding week, not just celebrating me as the new president, but celebrating what is happening at Texas Wesleyan. We have many different activities for students, faculty and staff, alumni. We have the President's Honors Concert. If you're interested in the arts, we would love for you to come out and participate in that. And that, I was trying to be as quick as possible so we could finish on time. That is all for my presentation, but I just want to leave you with this. You know, when I was approached about the position at Texas Wesleyan, I honestly had not heard much about it. So I did my research, and Texas Wesleyan University is so special, not only to the students we serve, but our faculty and staff, our community. What we're doing at the university is making a difference in so many students' lives. It's changing their lives. It's changing their lives, the lives of their families, and their future trajectories. I myself, as a first-generation college student, know the opportunities that I have been presented because of getting a college education. And at Texas Wesleyan, we're providing access and opportunity for students that may not otherwise have that. You know, many of our students are commuters. They may not have the traditional college experience. They may be working or raising families or providing for parents and siblings. And so what we're doing is so special. The Smaller, Smarter University in East Fort Worth is making a difference in our entire Fort Worth and North Texas community. And I appreciate all you do and your support, whether it's telling our story of Texas Wesleyan or supporting us financially or volunteering at the campus. Thank you for all you do and your support of the university. I got to wrap it up from the president here.
No, you got questions?
Yes, questions. Oh, yes.
After that,
Thank you.
I just wanted you to clarify one point. I've been hibernating for a year. I'm feeling great, so a little sleepy. Did you say that the Rangers won the World Series?
They did. They did. Yes.
Your nursing program, is that a doctoral program?
It is.
Does it require BS in nursing?
It does. It requires a BS in nursing, and it requires 3 years of ICU experience. It's a very specialized program. Mm-hmm. Yes.
You had some success on transitioning students that get extra in high school and Terra College Junior. You want to expand on that?
Dual enrollment?
Well, having the students transition from a 2-year program to a 4-year.
Oh, yes, yes. So we have an admissions team and enrollment team that works with Tarrant County College. They're at those campuses every week, if not more. So we provide that transition, and that honestly has been the route for many of our students for years and years. You know, they go to TCC and then they transfer to Texas Wesleyan. So we have articulation agreements and MOUs with TCC that we're actually working on expanding some of those to different programs as well. Yes.
Thanks so much for coming out to our club today. It's great to hear from you. I'm curious, the schools that you guys have partnered with took over and from F to A's. Can you elaborate on that program a little bit?
So these people can probably answer that question better than I can, but.
Superintendent with us today. Ramsey's with us.
Oh, good. Is she? Yes, perfect.
So under Senate Bill 1882, school districts are allowed to partner with charter entities. And so while they're still a part of Fort Worth ISD, the management of the day-to-day is in collaboration with Texas Wesleyan and the land. And so we do have schools that got additional dollars. That's the purpose of SB 1882, to receive additional dollars so that you can put into place additional supports and programming for students. So a lot of turnaround efforts at those campuses. And so that's something that we're working with as we continue our process on SB 1882.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, one more question.
Any more?
Yes.
I just want to tell you that you all have been so wonderful. Our school doesn't have a track and field, and you've been allowed our high school students from Southwest Christian coming this season.
Yes, I see the buses every day. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Especially thank you so much for what you're already doing in the community.
Thank you. We're happy.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for your presentation today. As most of us in the room know, Rotary is one of the big claims to fame of Rotary claims to fame of Rotary is our fight against polio. Late 80s, it was over 250,000 people every year, new diagnosis of polio. Last year was 23 because of Rotary's efforts on that. In honor of your presentation here today, we have a gift for you. We have made a donation in your name to the Rotary Polio Plus Fund. This is a memento of that. There you go. Also, I do have to ask, is anyone in your family a Rotarian? No, because you're a first generation, you strive at your school for first generation students, and we'd love for you to be a first generation member of our club, right? So something to think about, and I'm sure we have someone here who'd be more than willing to sponsor you to that. All right, thank you very much. I just follow up on that. All right, the magic number is 19. Anyone tell me what that means? What's the significance of 19? It's been 19 weeks since the last diagnosis of polio in the world. There is a very, very good possibility that by 2026, the World Health Organization will declare polio as a dead disease. That is because of the efforts of folks just like you. I urge you, if you get an opportunity and it tugs at your heart, contribute to the Rotary Polio Plus Fund. All right, announcements. We have a Veterans Committee meeting today. Yes? That is in the Rotary office, Suite 305 on the 3rd floor, not the elevators to the garage, the elevators that are over closer to where we normally meet. That'll take you down to the 3rd floor. If you go in the garage, you're going to end up in the garage. So don't. Suite 305, the Rotary office. For those of you who have not been, swing by. We've done some remodeling in there, and it looks great. Thank you, Past President Sean, for spearheading that effort. Where are you, Sean? Raise your hand. There she is back there. Thank you for that. Next week, Rob Matwick, EVP Business Operations, Texas Ranger Baseball. That should be a great program. Hope to see a full house there. Should be a beautiful weekend. I hope every one of you enjoy it. Try to do it outside with friends and family. With that, this meeting is adjourned.